What's up, you guys? It's Keith from Stock Hours here. Today we're going to be doing actually a trade review on a trade that I planned out last night in our free live charting session on Wednesday nights. So I ended up making around $750 on Coin. I am more green than that for the day, but to be fully transparent, that is what's from Coin. I don't want to take you guys and tell you, I ended up making my entire day's profit from Coin. I actually had a red trade on NVIDIA in the morning, a green trade that made up for that red trade and more on NVIDIA afterwards, and then came my Coin trades. So that is where I'm at for the day on Coin, and that's the stock that we're focusing on in this video. Talking about your winners, you have to talk about your losses as well. But we're going to go over the Coin trade mainly because I specifically charted this one out last night on our free live Wednesday charting sessions that we have on this YouTube channel every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the video, and we're going to start off from when I originally found this trade last night. I hope you guys enjoy. Looking at Coin here, we could definitely look at this 269.39 level into the 270 break. And then also we can look at this high at 275.53. I don't know that I would try and take those all as one, but yeah. I don't think I would try and take those all as one, but if we have the right momentum, we could take that 269.39 straight through this 275 level and just target the break of that. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, that's really not that far on Coin. I used to think of Coin as like a stock that didn't move that much, but we've been having some crazy moves on this. So here, I'll move this over for you guys. Looking at 269.39 into 270 break. Disney. Okay, so now that you guys know where I got that level from, I'm going to show you how I called it out inside the chat in Stock Hours. I let everybody know on mic originally when that first level was coming up that I was looking to play, and then after that level, I made sure to add another reminder inside the chat right here on the Trade Ideas channel. So looking at the chat right here, you can see I did end up calling it out on mic. You can't see that, obviously. I called out the first setup on mic where we planned to take it on the first entry. And then after the first entry, you can see I said here, Coin 275.53. And I made sure to explain why I was looking at that trade and how I was planning to take it. So now that you guys have seen where I got it from and how I let the chat know about it, let's go ahead and go into stocks chat here. I'm just going to type in Coin just so you see. Look at this. Didn't even realize how crazy Coin went. What's your thoughts on Coin? Coin is ripping. Let's see. I know a few members caught it. So yeah, I typed in Coin here. I went back to some of the chats. Some of the members here ended up catching it. You can see I'm just going through the ones that people tagged me. Just sold. What do you think about 275? Coin paid. Coin paid. So you can see people from the chat that did feel like catching it ended up catching Coin and making pretty good money on it. It was a great trade. It ended up being around a 28% trade on my first trade, and it ended up being a little over 10% on the second. I think it was around 12% on my second trade, but I also said that I was just planning to keep that as a scalp. So here you can see how this played out with these levels here. We ended up coming up, we broke that 270 level, and then we ended up, this is on the 1 hour, but we ended up coming up and breaking through that 275.53 as well. So I'm going to go into the 1 minute here and show you exactly how I entered this trade. So, my first entry on this trade, I plan to take an early entry here at this inverse H pattern that we were making because I wanted to take a partial early entry just on the thought that if we ended up breaking through this level from 266.60 and pushing all the way through my 269.39 level, which was the actual important level, I didn't want to enter on that large of a move if we ended up pushing straight through. So my thought process on this is I wanted to take a partial position here just in case we ended up pushing straight through my level, so at least I could catch a piece of that move. Because, like I said, if it was too overextended by the time we actually got to this level, I wouldn't have wanted to take it. So I entered here at this 266 level with a partial entry. We actually did end up pushing above 268 here. We made a high of around 268.60. So we were actually already up pretty decent just off of this early entry. But like I said, it was a partial position, and at that point, I was really just using it as a barrier in case we push straight to that 269.39 level. So what I ended up doing with this is I planned to stop out right below this 266.60 level, because you can see every time we came back down, we ended up wicking right off of this level. So whenever we ended up coming down and actually breaking below this level, our contracts were still holding up compared to where we got in. I should have been break even at around 266.60, and I ended up being break even at around 265.90. So once we came below 265.90, I ended up taking a very small stop loss on my partial position. Keep that in mind. It was a very small stop on my partial position. So it's not even like I stopped out on a full position. So I ended up taking that. That alone would have been a good scalp by itself, but I wanted to catch the bigger move on this. So it wouldn't have made sense for me to get out at this high right here. But anyways, that was my first trade on coin. It was a very small stop loss on a partial position. So once we ended up coming back up here around where we broke this like 267.60 area, once we started coming back above that, that's when we caught momentum into this 269.39. So I ended up entering on the momentum on this 267.69 area. We ended up coming up, breaking 269.39, wicking right before we broke 270. We ended up pulling back and then retesting this previous resistance area that we made right here. So when we started retesting that area, I needed to see that we were going to bounce. And guess what we ended up doing? We ended up bouncing. So we ended up bouncing. We ended up coming up here. We finally closed a candle above this important key level right here at 269.39. And then we ended up continuing through 270. We had a nice little pullback here below 269, ended up wicking right back above, and then continuing from there. I ended up selling all of my contracts on the 272 break. So that trade alone was around 28%. Just from this late, not even late entry, but just from this entry right here to right here was 28%. Now, I could have very well held my whole position until we got to this 275.53, but with the way that coin was moving, it made more sense for me to lock in my profits on that already great move and then just take this 275.53 as a scalp. And that is exactly what I did. So when we ended up coming up to 275 here, I ended up scalping 275 straight through this 275.53. I ended up selling on the break of this candle here at the high was 276.34. I probably got filled closer to around 276.20, but either way, that scalp alone was around 10% too. So those were two great trades that anybody could have gotten for absolutely free if they just attended the free Wednesday night charting sessions at 8 p.m. Eastern. So that is what I did on coin today. The chat caught it. A couple of people made some pretty decent money on it if they did. I am actually going to type in the chat here again and see if anybody sent profits on that one. I know a couple people said they caught it. So actually, look at this right here. We're gonna jump back to old Connor. We're gonna jump back to Connor's message here. Look at what coin did for Connor today. Look at that. That's crazy. $5,000 on that move. That's insane. That's awesome. Then we got another fill right here. 440 buy, 490 sell. That was actually on the first area right here. It was 11% for him. But yeah, a lot of people did get to capitalize on this. I was looking for the 270 break, market dumping, quick scalp. Hard work paying off. Awesome. So we definitely had some crazy results from that trade today. I'm glad that I got to mention it. I'm glad I got to show it to you guys last night on the charting session. But yeah, I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope to see you guys at the next free charting session as well. That would be great to see you. If any of you guys come to the live charting session from this video, you should definitely shoot me a message in the live chat and let me know that you came from this video. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys see how these levels kind of actually play out. It's always cool to talk about them beforehand, but it's also nice to see what happens afterwards as well. So yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I hope you guys in the week green. I will see you on the next one. Peace.